This is Dale Jr., and you're listening to Dirty Mo Radio.
We've got to get back on the pit box together.
Yes.
Because we haven't been back together, and Regan's not been in victory lane.
Correct.
Again, so we might be the good luck charm.
I think so.
I was thinking that until you said we were on the pit box together and they on the previous show. I'm like, okay, well, maybe not.
Welcome to Fast Lane Family with Kelley Earnhardt Miller.
Welcome to Fast Lane Family, everyone. Today in studio, I have Megan Smith, who is the awesome wife of junior motorsports driver Regan Smith. How are you doing today, Megan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Sometimes I want to say Megan, like Regan and Megan.
Well, we used to, when we first started dating, all of Regan's friends called us the Regan and Megan show. So we'd walk in and, our friends would be somewhere. We walk in the door and they'd be like, oh, Regan and Megan show's here.
And a lot of times people call Regan Reagan.
Yeah.
He gets that a lot, too. I hear that every now and then. So Regan, Megan, Megan,
yep.
Regan.
We answer to whatever.
All right. So speaking of Regan, first off, let's start off with how you two met.
We actually met in high school. We both went to South Iredell.
Here in Mooresville.
Yep. I was a freshman and he was a senior. So we had mutual friends. My best friend at the time, her older brother, was a senior with Regan. And we were the annoying freshmen that would get to hang out at the senior parties.
Right? What senior likes a freshman, right?
But we didn't start dating.
He must have really caught his eye.
Yeah. We didn't start dating until after he had already graduated.
High school.
Yeah, and then I was like a week shy of graduating.
Yeah, and you're right. You're from right here in Mooresville,
mm-hmm.
right? You grew up here.
Technically from Gastonia. But
okay, Gastonia.
Yeah,
oh,
I know.
Surprised you even mentioned that. Just kidding.
The
Listeners
gas
in Gastonia.
Yep. No, we moved here when I was like 13. So.
Yeah, and Regan, he's a transplant from New York, so
yep.
Pretty interesting pairing there.
Yeah. I caught him with the Southern charm.
So when you met Regan, he was already involved in racing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And being from Mooresville, obviously you knew a lot about racing. But how did you, feel about getting involved with somebody that was into racing? And I don't know at what point he was in his career. And did that enamor you, or what did you think about that?
Not really. I knew a little bit about racing, but it wasn't, just from being here in Mooresville. But it wasn't anything, oh my gosh, it's a race car.
Right. Right.
It was Regan in school, so it was no big deal. But he was kind of doing some part-time stuff at the time, so he wasn't, full-fledged gone every weekend or anything like that. So we still kind of had a normal...
So that was really in the beginnings of his career.
Yeah. He was doing a couple truck races here and there, people call him up, and then he ended up with a ride, full-time ride, probably about a year or so into us dating, or like that.
That was Team Renzi, I think, in 2006 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there reading, looking back through his career and reading. I didn't realize that. He had it pretty tough trying to get into racing. And people even talk about now, he's only, has he turned 30 yet? Yes, we just had the 30th, but I didn't get to come to the 30th dinner.
Oh,
but,
you missed my time.
And to think that, he's been involved in, racing for the past 10 years in the kind of the NASCAR world
mm-hmm.
and Hooters Pro Cup and stuff like that. I always think of him as an older driver, a veteran driver.
Mm-hmm.
But really he's, with the ride at Furniture Row, that was kind of his first fledged full-time
mm-hmm.
game on kind of opportunity.
Yeah, there was that, and then the year before he was at DEI for a little while. But
there he just felt like he was kind of tossed around.
Yep. It was kind of like, oh, you're going to be in this car, now you're going to be in this car, so it was a little bit crazy. But
so kind of the consistent, stable situation at Furniture Row.
Yeah,
and so with that, I know now, knowing what I know about Regan, he is just really, really intense person, really hard on himself.
Yes.
Really dedicated, wants to understand it all, wants to pick it all apart. How have you dealt with that on the racing side of his career, and how do you support that?
A lot of it is just getting him to kind of relax, and that's a really hard thing. He's not one.
No.
I joke that him and his family both, they don't know how to just...
He gets that from his dad, I know.
Yeah. And from his mom a little bit, I think, too. But they don't know how to just sit, and relax and unwind and just, let it go, burn off some steam. But I think I'm rubbing off a little bit on him, so it's gotten there. But biggest thing is just, if he wants to talk about it, we'll talk about it. If he wants to just have a moment and me leave him alone, then I've gotten pretty good at knowing. So how do you go
about that? Like after a race, do you kind of like take it off of what happened at the race, or do you always offer up, or how do you?
For the most part, I'll know as soon as when he gets out of the car yeah, he wants to talk, or nope, I'm going to let him just kind of have his moment, and I'll talk to him afterwards. So typically, you know, he goes back to the motorhome. He'll, you know, take a shower, change real fast, and then we'll jump in the car, and I can, you know, if he wants to talk, then we'll talk, and then, you know.
Does he, like, go into all the detail about the cars and talk all the competition stuff with you and crews and stuff? Like,
well, as I've gotten more involved with, you know, being around the sport, I've learned
more
a lot. Yeah, so I mean, I can kind of talk a little bit of the terminology with him. I know a little bit of the lingo. Typically, you know, we'll just talk about, you know, decisions that were made, or
more situation.
Right. Yeah. But I do actually take notes for him during the whole race. So on my phone, I jot down. It started off when originally he would always ask me, you know, well, what happened to this car? What happened here? Why was that? You know, what happened with this caution? And I'd always be like, well, I don't remember.
I found that pretty fascinating that you take notes, because I know some of the first races that we were together on the pit box, and you're like, oh, I take notes, and you're over there on your phone, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so
how you pay attention to him and keep up with that, too.
And sometimes he talks so fast, and it's like you're texting, so I'm typing with my thumbs, and I'm like, okay, slow down. I don't know what you just said. But, yeah, so I take notes for him, and I'll write down, you know, any changes that I know that they did. And,
and he kind of goes back through those.
Yeah, so he uses those on his notes when he debriefs or whatever. After
he writes books for his debriefing.
Yeah, yeah, he does. He started that probably like 5 years ago or so, where he goes through, and I mean
he's detailed.
Yeah,
but that's great. It's it takes all kinds. I think of you want all the detail. You've got some people that just take it in little bits of pieces and go, and you know you can sort through all the information and kind of pull out what you need to pull out. And everybody's thought processes around here between all of the 4 drivers and, you know, 3 and 4 crew chiefs and the engineers and all the staff there. Lots of people to listen, lots of people that want to read all that information.
Yeah.
So.
I don't reread it. I just
you just hand it over.
I just take the notes, and then I send an email to him.
Email.
Yep. Then he goes through and picks out what he needs to
That's
talk
too
about.
funny. So we had a really awesome Daytona win with Regan winning.
Yes, it was very
fun. And just coming off Texas winning with Chase. So the team's quite on fire as a whole. You and I were totally excited on the pit box there. I will not forget that hug from you when that happened. I mean, I think we were both obviously equally as happy for different reasons, you know.
I think the biggest thing was just from the year before being so close.
Yes.
And I think we were on the pit box together for the year before. And I just remember being like, not again. Please not, you know, like, let's finish
get
this
across the line in one piece.
And I know how hard that one was for Regan from a personal standpoint of the racing, and then also just the events that occurred and everything. That was a tough one for him. So I just, you know, it's an emotional roller coaster of, especially at Daytona, you know, you never know what's going to end up happening. So
I don't know if you're up or down.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing for me on Sunday with Dale, and my reaction to that was, for Dale winning, was relief. I mean, I was, you know, and the same thing on Saturday I was really excited for our team, because I know how hard everybody works here, and just to finish and not have cars tore up, and you know that's just gut wrenching to leave the first race under those circumstances. Yeah. So winning was just incredible. So we've got to get back on the pit box together.
Yes,
because we haven't been back together, and Regan's not been in victory lane again.
Correct.
So we might be the good luck charm.
I think so.
I was thinking that until you said we were on the pit box together and Daytona the previous year. I'm like, okay, well, maybe not.
We won't count that one. It's a new year.
Yeah, right. So what does a win like that coming off the beginning of the season do for his confidence and just kind of making peace in your household?
Yeah, wins help our household. The peace is great. You know, typically I think the biggest thing is, you know, he's, even here at Junior Motorsports, he's been with 3 different teams and had 4 different wins. So I think it was just with all the changes and everything on the off season, I think it just helped him, you know, realize like, okay, we can do this, you know, with the new team with Ryan and everybody. So yeah, I think it really just kind of helped make him like, all right, this year's gonna be good. We're gonna get this done.
Yeah, and he's that kind of personality that, you know, he gets really wrapped up and worked up over things being different and needing that to be validated that it worked.
Right.
And okay, we proved something here. This worked. That's totally his personality.
Yeah. So biggest thing was, I mean, just, you know, last year starting off the season, you know, to go from leading, coming out of turn 4, and I don't even know where he ended up finishing, but just now, instead of having to dig yourself out of a hole at the beginning of the beginning of the season, he's just feels much more confident and much more, you know, okay, we're starting out the gate, we can do this. So, yeah. So, definitely.
Now he has to think about the things to not dig the hole.
Yeah, yeah.
So, right.
Yeah.
He's on top of the mountain, and
let's stay up there.
Yeah, don't go down the mountain for sure.
Yep.
So, spending a lot of time on the road, traveling to races, what's one of your favorite places from a racetrack perspective to go? And then also kind of vacation spot, because I know.
Yeah. I think my favorite track probably would have to be, I like Daytona, and I like Darlington. Just because Darlington's sentimental.
That first win.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
And I like Kentucky, too.
Yeah. What do you like about those areas?
Daytona, I just like the beaches there.
Yeah.
That's a fun one just because, there's something other to do than just the racetrack. Right. And because we're there so long. I think you start to kind of get, like when I first started traveling on the road with him, I was terrified to go anywhere by myself. And I was like,
just stay right on the racetrack.
I would just stay right at the track. I can't, I'm not going anywhere. I'm horrible with directions. So I was like, if I get lost, I can't call Regan. He's busy.
In the race car.
I was like, and I don't know anybody hardly. So it's not like I can be like, So I think the biggest thing is Daytona was the first place where I felt comfortable being able to go out, at the racetrack and know where I was going. Right. Kentucky was the first race that I ever went to with Regan. So that was
kind of just a special
place,
yeah,
it was just kind of special. Actually, I went we had a 7-hour car or motorhome ride. His parents were driving his motorhome at the time. And so we'd probably been dating a month, maybe. It's 2 months. I don't know. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to fly with the team and you can ride with my parents in the motorhome.
Oh,
and I was like,
quite the introduction. Right.
I was like, Regan, I've known your parents, like I've met them 3 times. Really?
I was going to say, that takes on a whole new meet the parents connotation.
So, but it was good. It turned out really good. So we had a good time. But
that's too funny. So who on the road, like when you go out to the beach or want to ride around in Kentucky or wherever you're at, do you have any girlfriends on the circuit that you like to hang out with?
I'm really close with Paul Menard's girlfriend. Or, wife now.
Yeah, wife.
I'm so used to saying girlfriend. Who just had a baby.
I was going to say.
Yeah. I haven't, we've been out of town, so I haven't been able to meet her yet, so I'm excited. But she was probably my first real good girlfriend at the track. And I really didn't start traveling a lot until the last, 3 or 4 years, just because I was teaching school at the time. But I'd probably say Jennifer is my closest. And then I've just, through Regan working here, gotten really good friends with Amy.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll call her up.
I know. I've seen y'all on the beach while I was at the racetrack in Daytona.
We were.
Megan and Amy are out at the beach. Boo hiss.
Yeah.
So you talked about teaching. It's funny because I started out as a criminal justice major in college.
I didn't know that.
Decided to change to business because I felt like it kind of was pretty broad and I could do whatever. I really wanted to be a teacher, but I thought teachers just don't get paid enough, and I don't want to do that. But when someone says today, what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't running this business or you weren't involved in racing? I always say I think I'd be a teacher. Mm-hmm. And do you think I'm crazy for wanting to be a teacher?
Well, I originally was a communications major, and I changed my major without telling anyone. I mean, I kind of talked about it, but I never really officially said I'm going to go do this. So I called my mom, and the first thing she's a teacher, and she said to me, "Are you crazy?" So, no, I don't think you're crazy, but it's definitely it's a very rewarding job.
I think that's how you have to look at it too. You really have to have a passion and love for children and for what you're instilling in them and teaching. Which is, I think the hard part about being a teacher these days because you don't feel like that it's the same situation.
No, not at all. When I started teaching, which I've taught for like 4 years, actually right here up the road. The biggest thing was just, parents now, it's a very tough time to grow up in. Right. They grow up so fast and you're thinking.
Introduced to so many things.
Yeah. And
technology has made that, the social media aspect of it.
There's a whole nother, there's a whole nother level that, even when I was in school, like we didn't have to worry about.
Right.
Who was texting and pictures and all that stuff. Like that was not even, we didn't talk about that. But yeah, the biggest thing is a very rewarding career, not in a monetary way, but definitely from a standpoint of, you are touching lives and everything. And I really enjoyed it, and I miss it, but so I still sub, and I enjoy doing that, and I still sub typically at the school that I taught at. So I know all the teachers and a lot of the students, they know me just because their older siblings had me as a teacher. Right. So
what grade did you teach?
I taught 8th grade.
8th grade.
8th grade science.
Middle school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was
That's Carson right now.
I
And
know.
sometimes she comes home, I can just like, ugh.
Yeah, she comes back, I promise. 10th
Leave
grade,
for a couple
9th,
years.
10th grade, she'll come back. She'll be the normal 1-year member. But
I'm looking forward to that day.
yeah.
So you stopped your teaching job when Regan got the job at Furniture Row in Colorado, so that you guys could move out there and be there full time.
Yeah, that was a rough one for me. I had a hard time picking up and moving. I've always lived
right by your family,
right here in North Carolina, near Charlotte, within 30 minutes. So for me, it was a big move, and it was right before we got married. We were engaged, and he was like, "What are your thoughts on moving to Colorado?" And I was like,
okay, 3/4 of the way across the United States.
Yeah, the first weekend was rough. For some reason, I didn't travel that weekend. I think I was just trying to stay back and get the house kind of in order. That first weekend was rough because I literally was thinking, I am 1,500 miles away from the closest person I know. Like, I don't even know anybody. So, but now, I mean, I absolutely love it there.
You guys still have your house there.
Yeah, we still have our house there.
Travel there, and vacate.
We tried. You asked earlier about our favorite vacation spot, and that'd
be it.
Yeah. It's home, but it's also, it's a good place to kind of get away. Regan can relax there. He's learned how to relax in Colorado, so that works.
But does he work around the house or whatever?
Oh yeah,
like he's got these projects that he wants to do. I think.
Yeah, he's always. Most of it consists of changing light bulbs. Every time we go out there, we have half our light bulbs are blown or whatever. So typically, it's him changing light bulbs for the first 2 days. But
that's too funny.
And then I clean the whole house. So
when you're not at a house like that every day, it seems like when you get back, there's tons of things to do. Same thing for our cabin. When we get to PA, you've got to clean up the bugs, and it just seems like there's always something going on from not being there for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
The other day, we were joking about the Daughter-in-Law of the Year award.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah, which I think is funny because, I know that you want the award, but you are the only daughter-in-law. So, but I could see how you could not get the award or get the award, even though you're the only one.
I have tough competition.
Yeah, right. Your competition is just breaking through to Lee.
Yeah.
Regan's mom. She, who I love to death.
Yeah, and I do
great
too.
Person. You were sitting there talking about his parents not being able to relax, and I was on the board with Lee through the Humane Society of Iredell, and I would say that's her form of relaxation. I think is
I can agree with that. Yeah,
is working with the Humane Society, even though she takes everything to the next level of intensity and passion and making it happen. So, and you work with the Humane Society also. I know you did before you moved to Colorado, and now that you're back, you're transplanting back in.
Back in it again, full steam ahead. Yeah, we I jokingly and lovingly say roped me into it. But
I could say the same thing.
Yeah. I think she said
Hey,
that
Kelley, do you want to be on this board with me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We really, 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 really need your help.
Yeah.
We love you, Lee.
Pretty sure we do. We promise. But no, I guess it was, I wasn't traveling. I was in college and then teaching school. And so on the weekends, I was always here. And so our thing every Saturday, this is before we
kind of organized
the
Humane Society, right?
Yeah, this is before it got to what it is now. But we were every Saturday in PetSmart parking lot here in Mooresville at 7 o'clock in the morning, setting up X pens, and I would stop and get coffee for everybody and bring it in, and she had her work gloves on, and we would basically set up an entire adoption fair with pop-up tents and all this stuff, and then by 9 o'clock all the fosters start showing up with their animals, leave them for the day, and we are all day long in snow, sun, heat, rain, whatever. We were out there. So that was our bonding experience in the beginning of our relationship, I think, over the dogs and all the animals that were there. But yeah, that was our start. And then we've now we have our building on 150, which is our adoption center. And our dogs are still in foster care for the most part. Yeah. And then all of our cats, for the most part, are either at the building or they're at PetSmart, and then we have some in foster care as well. So now I'm more, instead of being there every weekend on the adoption fair days like I used to be, since I'm not there and at the racetrack, now I'm in charge of all the fundraising, which that's
it's challenging.
Yeah, it's
getting better, I think.
It is.
There was a period of time when it was really hard after the economy crashed.
Yeah.
even on our side with the foundation. And I think even at that time is when I was on the board for the
that would have been right when we started.
We were working really hard to fundraise, but I think it's getting a lot easier.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I think our thing too is now that we've been in the community for a while, which the Humane Society had been here since like 1975, I think, but it wasn't to the extent that it is.
Yeah, the awareness
now.
and presence today is much greater.
Right. And now we offer a lot more, to the public. We offer low-cost spay-neuter with a partnership that we do with the Humane Society of Charlotte. I think it's every other Tuesday. So we offer that to the public, which is huge, because that's one of our main goals is to cut down on the pet population.
Yes.
So we do that, and then we also have a food bank where we try to help out, anyone that's hitting hard times and just needs a little help having food for their animal for a month or two or whatever.
Yeah, because that's a lot of the reason that people give up their animals is, hardship.
Right.
Either they're moving and can't take them, or they're going through a tough time for themselves and they have to give up something, and that's something that they make that decision. So so that's how you end up with a lot of animals.
Yeah, too many, unfortunately. But yeah, we try to help out with that, and main goal is to keep the animals in their home versus in a shelter or in animal control. So
that's a huge undertaking.
Yeah,
and once people know that you're involved in an organization like that, and I know during my time with Humane Society, and even today, I'm not as involved with it, but they'll call you, hey, I found this dog on the side of the road, can you take it? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you've ended up with a lot of animals that way.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So what do your fur babies consist of?
We have quite a group. We have 2 Dobermans. Champ is Regan's Doberman from even before he and I were together. He got Champ when he was a senior in high school. And Champ is still living, still kicking, and
it's old for a Doberman.
He is, he's 12. He'll be 13 in January, so he's up there. But anyway, so Champ is too old to travel with us, and he's really too old to just go back and forth even between our house and Regan's parents' house. So Regan claims Champ is his,
but he stays
with Lee and Ronnie just because he can't. I mean, he can't even get up in the So Champ is technically Regan's, but he lives at his at Regan's parents.
Right.
Which Regan's parents have 2 Dobermans as well, and they're both rescues. So she has Lamar, who's a 3-legged Doberman rescue.
Yep, I know Lamar.
Yep. Lamar, superstar. And then Belle is another rescue. She's a rescue from up north. So they have a herd. And then at our house, we have Princess, who is a teacup chihuahua. And Regan gave her to me our first year dating. So she is 10 this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she's spoiled rotten, lives up to her name. And then Magoo is a Basenji Yorkie mix, which we're not really sure if that's true.
That is, but okay. Yep.
Well, I got him.
Yorkie. I get the Yorkie part.
Yep. He's a rescue. He came through the Humane Society of Iredell, fell in love with him immediately, and I rescued him, brought him home. And it was before Regan and I were married or living together, so he was mine. And but now Regan claims him. But he's so ugly, he's cute. Only his mom could say that, right?
Right.
I got him DNA tested because everybody's like, oh, he's got Chinese crested in him, or he's got Chihuahua, or we had no idea. So when it came back, it said that he was 75% Yorkie and 25% Basenji. And I just did the one where you swab the inside of their mouth and then mail it off and it comes back. So Regan thinks that I just got gypped out of my $75 or whatever it was. So I was like, I don't think so. I think that's what he is. But anyway, so that's Magoo. And then our newest one we've had for a little over a year is Ender, and he's another Doberman. And he's a rescue that came through the Humane Society as well. And he was at our adoption center that we were talking about earlier. And after dinner every night, Regan and we live 10 minutes from there. So we would go and we'd get in the kennel with him and love on him and lay in his bed with him. And we probably did that for a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I'm not sure if he really didn't have any applications on him or if we were just trying to be
they just sold you on that.
Yeah. But we, Regan left to go, actually it was Kansas race when he was subbing for Dale. And he left, went out of town, and his mom and I came with a plan, okay, we're bringing them home.
This is how we're
going to do this. Because Regan was really nervous about another Doberman being introduced to everybody and with the little dogs.
Yeah, from a teacup Chihuahua to a Doberman.
Which they rule the roost. Yeah. I mean, they'll go up and swipe toys right out of Ender's mouth and everything else. So
they've showed who's in charge.
Yeah. So I snuck Ender home, and we, did the whole introduction thing without Regan being around. And then
you're like, look, he doesn't want to leave now.
Yeah, well,
he
made a comment about it. He's like, I was really surprised that you haven't tried to bring Ender home yet. And I was like, meanwhile, I'm like sitting on the couch with Ender going.
You've got the plan folded up in your back pocket.
Yeah, so he's coming back from Kansas, and I was like, oh, by the way, Ender's at our house. So I was like, surprise. So
I think rescue dogs are the best, and working with Humane Society, you can really get wrapped up in your emotions of wanting to take them all home and how cute they are. But you have to remember that pet responsibility is something that you have to be really responsible about. And you've got to be able to provide for them. You want to be able to take them to the vet. You want to be able to take care of them and be responsible with it.
Yeah, so. And our biggest thing is we are foster based. So basically we can only bring in what we have fosters for.
Exactly.
And we've done really well. Last year we've rescued and rehomed over 500 animals in Iredell County. And every year we've, done more and more. So it's been going really well. But the biggest thing is trying to make sure that we have enough fosters, and we get a lot of people that will adopt an animal from us that they were fostering. And then
they don't want to foster anymore.
And then they don't want to foster anymore. And so we're like,
wait a minute, this didn't work out.
But we try to explain to everybody, that, if you foster, you will have to let this dog back, or cat back up, but then you're opening your home to be able to rescue another one. Exactly. And so then that makes you be able to rescue more. Yeah. So yeah,
it's incredible. The numbers are staggering that when you repeat them of how many animals, are euthanized in our county. Over 7,000 dogs, I think, in Iredell County. You just times that by 100 counties in North Carolina, and then you times that by 50 states, in the United States, and the numbers are staggering. So.
Yeah, so we're trying one dog and cat at a time.
I have rescues also. Every animal I have had or have are rescue animals.
Yeah.
I got my Bristol, who's a retriever and we think chow mix back from Jody Getzecker from Animal Adoption League way back. And then Lucy is a boxer. I rescued 9 puppies whose mom got hit by a car. I brought them all to my house. Ended up keeping 2 of them. One got kicked by the horse and didn't make it. And then so we have Lucy. Cats. I have 2 cats that were rescues. So
I think.
Well, I'm also the spot that your mom and Lori call.
I think
Lori, the director of the Humane Society, she'll ring my phone and she'll say, "We have these cats. They're not quite adoptable, but they need a farm to live on."
Yep.
And so, I only have 6 acres, but my 6 acres is attached to Dale's couple hundred acres. And so I'm like, okay, bring them on out here.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know that we have a lot of cats that,
But they're spayed or neutered. And, so we have food out at the barn. We have food out down at the old town and different places. Yep. And so they all, have places to go and places to be and get fed. So that's the important part.
You've gotten lovingly roped in as well.
Oh, yes, have. Well, thanks for coming in today, Megan, and good luck to you guys in Darlington this coming weekend.
Thanks for having me.
All right, it's time for our segment, Ask Kelley. Remember that you can submit your questions on Twitter at Earnhardt Kelley using the hashtag Ask Kelley.
Okay, first one up is at Country Koya. We have heard from Sherry Pollux and Angie Skinner about how they met their partner, but how did you and LW meet?
Well, you're going to laugh when I tell you this. LW and I were both out with friends one evening and both ended up at the Waffle House. Okay, this is the point where you laugh. The Waffle House. And I knew someone that was in his bunch that he had been out with that evening and started talking to them and just drummed up conversation. Then LW and I started talking. We were kind of sitting back to back in the booth at Waffle House and we just started talking and we exchanged phone numbers. And about a week later, he called me up and asked me out on a real date. And it's been history ever since.
At Maddie Booze 88, what's your daily car SUV that you drive?
I drive a Chevy every day, and sometimes it just depends on which Chevy. So I have a Tahoe that Dale gave me back in 2007, and it was through a show called Payback where they had celebrities build a car or a hot rod or something to kind of pay back someone significant in their life that had done a lot for them and kind of helped get them to where they are. So Dale chose to give me this really tricked out Tahoe that I have named Payback from the show. So I drive that. That's what I'm driving today. That's what I've been driving for the last week. We also have a Chevy Traverse that we drive, and I have a Chevy white Camaro. I only drive it in the summertime. And I have a Volkswagen Beetle that LW gave me for my 40th birthday. So that's my summertime ride. Well, he says I have to drive in the spring or fall because it doesn't have air conditioning, but I like just to drive it when the sun's out and it's hot.
So it's an older VW.
It's a 72.
Oh, very nice.
Same 40-year-old as me.
At Sooner24, where did Kennedy get her name?
Kennedy, I don't even really have a great story for how Kennedy got her name. I like the name Kennedy. I had heard it from someone else who had the name Kennedy, and I can't even remember who it was. And she's Kennedy Grace, and I just picked Grace because I thought it sounded pretty, and I was going to go with Kennedy Dale, and I just couldn't kind of finalize that thought. So then I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to name her after anybody in the family, and I'm just going to go with Kennedy Grace. I'll also tell you about Carson's name because I think it's a great story, too. Carson, I did pick Carson's name because Del Jarrett had a daughter named Carson, and I thought it was cool. She spells hers with a K. And Kingsley, her middle name, is my middle name, Kelley King, which is also my grandmother Earnhardt, Martha King, and my grandfather, Ralph Lee, Kingsley. I put that together and made that her name. So
very nice. At Deb Allen 388 wants to know what your favorite thing is to do when you just relax.
Well, I think I'm kind of like Regan. I'm not sure if I have a lot of relaxing in my body. One of my favorite things to do is scrapbooking. I don't know if you really call that relaxing because it's a lot of work and a lot of thought that goes into it. But I like to scrapbook. I like to catch up on magazines on the weekend. I get to, like cooking magazines or Good Housekeeping and stuff like that to relax. And probably just sleep if I get the chance because, as a mom of 3, I don't get much sleep. So
At AJ88 Fan, will JRM have a fan day this year?
Yes, we will have a JRM Fan Day this year. It's going to be Friday, May 23rd, and you can find more information on our website at jrmracing.com/fanday2014. And if you're having trouble getting to that, just go to jrmracing.com, click in the upper right corner for the Fan Day information. It is, all of our drivers will be here to sign autographs, including Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Chase, Regan Smith, myself, my daughter Carson, and our late model drivers, Josh Berry and William Byron. And it is a wristband system, so you'll need to make sure that you go online and sign in for the wristband information to try to get your name drawn for the lottery. All right, so here's my final thoughts with Megan. Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Me too. Beach or mountains?
Oh, that's a tough one. Mountains. No, beach. Can I do both?
Nope. It doesn't say and, it says or.
St. Lucia has beaches and mountains.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Hills or flats?
Oh, heels all the way. I'm 4'11".
Cook at home or eat out?
I like to eat out, but Regan likes cooking at home. Me to cook at home.
Dress or jeans and a tee?
Jeans and a tee.
City girl, country girl?
Country girl.
Massage or facial?
Facial.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. You know a little bit more about Megan Smith. And hope you guys all have a great Wednesday. And join us next week on Fastlane Family.
Thanks for listening to Dirty Mo Radio.